If you ask me, I think the last 5 years have been like a golden half of a decade for APAC when it comes to cultivated meat and seafood. It's not just been about the mindset that has changed, with the policymakers, but also the consumers who want to know more, who want to find out when this is coming to market. There've been an increasing number of ventures who've, come into developing cultivated meat and seafood, like Steve mentioned, but also some part of the value chain of this industry, which means that APAC has not just been producing isolated inventions, but also like an aligned ecosystem. So you're not just working on the product, but say cultured media, how do you source yourselves better in the initial part of the R&D? I think I would also like to point out here that, one thing that has really worked for APAC is the inter-region partnerships. So you might be developing the innovations on your own, but partnering with either traditional food companies. And in our case, we partnered with a traditional seafood importer and exporter. Who would have thought? And those partnerships have been really key, and they will mark the milestones for us in the coming few years. And all of this marked with investments. I know there can be more done in this space, but also the last 5 years saw some significant investments, some vote of confidence coming from traditional food companies, impact funds, angels who believe that we do need a secure and a sustainable food system. So that's my 2 cents on the landscape.
Thank you, Shikha, and thank you, Steve, for the comments. I cannot, agree more. I think the last 5 years have really been a golden age. Back in 2017, 2018, there was not much in place back then, right? Most companies either were very early stage or yet been started. I think a big front has been in terms of regulatory development, with what Steve mentioned, the first SFA approval in Singapore and the subsequent approval after that, to clarify, the first in the world. There's also been substantial development in the regulatory front in Japan, Korea, China, Australia, New Zealand, and Israel. They are all sort of engaged in the ministry at the government level to establish frameworks and a pathway to really sell, which is very, very positive, of course. And, the ecosystem that's progressing. We have APAC SA, my own association, which was officially formed last year. And for example, GFI, we've been working a lot on different initiatives. For example, the MOU coming out with the industry of driving nomenclature alignment for the first time. And we're currently expanding to both regional and global coordination on regulation. So this is sort of assisting and driving forth transparency of the industry as a whole. And APAC SA will also be part of driving forth a global alliance with industry partners in Europe and in the US for global coordination. So we see more joint and I think collaborative effort to build the industry together, which has been spearheaded through the Asia. And last, we also have the FAO report coming out shortly with guidelines on safety and cultivated food production and later alignment and updated Codex Alimentarius for global food standards. So the industry is really gearing up to, I would say, to explode into on the regulatory front, I feel. So that's very positive. So I think in the last 5 years, we're an industry that's been shaped by really rapid progression and coordination between most of all the stakeholders. And collectively in Asia, we see a lot of positivity, and we really push the industry to the next level here.